Did you know that 90% of print-on-demand beginners fail after 3 months? After this video, you will exactly know what is the biggest reason why print-on-demand shops are failing and what the secret of a successful print-on-demand store really is. I have been running several successful print-on-demand stores for more than 7 years. I sold over 1 million t-shirts and I'm the CEO of the fastest growing print-on-demand company in Europe called Marketprint. Today I'm going to share with you my biggest learnings of the past 7 years. All the things I wish I knew just when I started. So let's get into the video. Point 1. My biggest mistake in the beginning was I had a focus on the wrong things. I mean, just when I discovered print on demand, my first task was building an online shop looking pretty similar to an Apple online shop. So I was creating my online shop day and night. I invested more than 7 days into my e-commerce store, launched it, did advertising on it, and I think after 2 or 3 days I closed the shop again. My mistake there was I was concentrating too much on the wrong things in the business, especially for the beginning of a print-on-demand store. I was just focusing myself on the store, on the front end of the store. How is the shop looking? Is the store looking good? Do I have a good header? Do I have a good banner? And all small things like that. So after I was failing my first print-on-demand store, I quickly realized that the most important point in the business is not the store front end. The most important point in print-on-demand are those designs. So my second store, I changed my working behavior. I changed from building a good store, a good looking store with high quality images and crap like that. I moved to focusing myself on the designs and the products I am selling. In my mind, I was thinking what is just an awesome idea to have an online store looking like the Apple store. But for most of the print-on-demand beginners, it's bullshit. You have to focus yourself on the products you're selling. As an entrepreneur, your biggest asset is not your store and not your front end, it's your products. The products are far more important in the beginning than the store front end and also than the advertising. If I have the decision if I want good products with bad advertising or bad products with good advertising, 10 of 10 times I would take the good product with bad advertising, because at the end of the day you're doing more money with this than with good advertising and bad products. Also, a big mistake in my first online store was not only that I'm focusing too much on the store front end, but also that I didn't pick a niche. So I was like Apple, not selling phones, I was selling phone cases, and I didn't have a niche. So I was putting in every phone case I've found on AliExpress and Alibaba, and at the end of the day I didn't have a target audience. I had a general shop for phone cases, and that is not the best business idea you can have out there, because you don't have any unique selling points in your store, you don't have a target audience, and I was losing to Amazon. So also my second store, I was just focusing myself not on store development and like having a good looking store. I was focusing more on the products and having a target audience. So my second store, I was launching a party shop, an alcohol shop, and it was pretty popular in Germany and in whole Europe. And that was the time when I had a target audience, when I had a good looking shop, not as good as my first shop, but it was a good looking, and I was focusing myself on the products, and that was the time when I made my first sales. So let's talk about the second point, about the first sale. What was the reason I was doing my first sale? I mean, when I started print on demand, I was doing a lot of stuff back then. I had several bad paid jobs, like I was working in construction, I was working in Australia as a destruction worker. It was nice. I was working at Domino's, and I made a lot of bad paid jobs out there. So it was pretty important for me that my print-on-demand store is working and that I can make money with it, because I quit university back then. I was an IT student, so I left university and was doing everything to achieve my first running store, and I did everything to just generate money online. So that was the time when I had to have my first sale. And like I told you in the beginning, I was doing a lot of stuff back then, but after I've chosen a target audience and a niche, the alcohol niche in this case, I was just doing my products, and after I released the products, I was focusing myself on the advertising. So the second lesson is here, sales don't come by themselves. It's important to develop marketing strategies. And in the case of a print-on-demand store, it's important that you publish your products, and after that you can create low-budget ads on your product. I just started with €5 for an ad, for a creative, and was testing several designs at the same time. I was testing like 10 designs with €5 budget per day. So it was €50 per day, and in these 10 designs I was finding some bestsellers, and I could scale the bestsellers very easily. So the most important point was there. In the first lesson I've told you that you have to focus on your products and on your target audience. In the second lesson, the most important thing is you have to focus on advertising. You have to focus on marketing because you need visitors on your website. If you're doing a lot of sales, there's another problem: the product quality. Point 3. One of my biggest mistakes and one of the most expensive things I've ever done is, it was 2019 and I started selling watches with a personalized design on it. I've never checked the product quality. I just started selling. Like, it's easy in print on demand and dropshipping. I just started selling my stuff, and after several days I scaled the products, and I went from like 100 or 200 euros revenue per day to 1,000 or 2,000 euros per day with a brand new Shopify store. I scaled it even more in the next days and weeks, and after 3 weeks the first products arrived at my customer's house. And there I had a pretty bad week because I just realized all the watches I was selling, it had a pretty bad quality. The biggest problem here was I wasn't checking the quality before. I sold over 1,000 pieces of watches, like I was selling a lot of them, and when the first products arrived I just realized how bad the quality is. So in the next days and weeks I just had problems with my customers. European customers are very picky, so I was selling bad products. Yeah, the quality was pretty bad to be serious, and I was selling a lot of them. So after they arrived at the customer's home, the problems just began. And at this time PayPal was sending me a message and they told me, hey, look, your product quality is bad, we just hold your money back. It was 80,000 euros. They were holding my money back. At the same time Facebook was writing me a message, hey, look, your score is very bad and we will shut your account down. So after so in this week I had like 80,000 euros frozen, and of course my Facebook was not working as well. So it was a pretty bad week for me, and I think the lesson I've learned there was, before you're selling a product, you have to check the quality first. Before you're scaling a product, no matter if you're doing dropshipping or print on demand, if you're working with a provider, please do me a favor and check the quality of the provider, because if you're selling bad stuff and you're scaling this stuff, you will get a lot of problems afterwards. And that's the reason why I offer sample packages at my software Marketprint, so people can persuade themselves from our quality, because we are delivering good stuff. We're delivering good t-shirts, oversized shirts, oversized hoodies with a high quality print on them. And the reason why is because I don't want that my customers, my B2B partners, have the same problems I had back then when I started print on demand or when I did my side quests like this watches things. The next point is, in my career I was oftentimes jumping on trends. So one trend, for example, is the Father's Day here in Europe. It's a pretty big event. And for the Father's Day only, I've created an online shop. Problem there is that this online shop is doing money, is generating money just over a period of 30 days or something like that. So the biggest problem here is, when you're a print-on-demand beginner and you just own one store, you shouldn't publish a trend shop. After this period of time, after this hot 30 days, you will not do any money with this online shop anymore. And if you're quitting your job and you need money to live, you need a store that is running on every day in the year. You need an evergreen store. And I see a lot of people jumping on a print-on-demand train and creating a trend shop, like a Father's Day shop, doing good money in 30 days. And after these 30 days, they are not doing any more. So the lesson here is, for your first store, you shouldn't jump onto a trend. For your first store, you have to create a store that is running every day in the year, an evergreen store. Another example of this is one of my customers was creating a Fortnite store. Like when the game just launched, a lot of people were playing Fortnite and he was launching a print-on-demand store for Fortnite players. It was a trend niche, and after a period of time the store was not doing any money anymore. And the problem was he was scaling a lot, and during this time he has more and more costs every month. He had a lot of employees there. He rent himself an office. He was buying himself a Mercedes, a really expensive one. He quitted his job and he had a lot of costs. The problem here was he was the CEO of a trend shop. It was clear that the Fortnite store is not running forever. After the hype went down, now he had an online store with no visitors anymore, and nobody was interested in his store and his products. And it went pretty bad for him. So the lesson here is pretty easy. You need an evergreen store. You need a niche, which is a trending niche every year, and not like the Fortnite store, like the Father's Day store. You need a niche that is doing money every day and is evergreen. Of course you can build trend shops, but not as the main project. If you're watching our business structure, we own 7 print-on-demand shops. One of them is a trend store like the Father's Day store. And of course you can sell with this store on Christmas days as well. But the rest of the year, going up from 45,000 euros per day to 1,000 or even 0 euros per day. So it's just working on these dates. You have to do money every day, not just for 30 days in the year. Another lesson I have to learn was, after I just launched my first successful print-on-demand store, I was doing holidays in Valencia in Spain, and like I was living there for 8 weeks or something like that. During this time I was a one-man army. I was doing everything by myself, and just after a successful Christmas season I just decided that I wanted to do vacation, I wanted to chill, I wanted to spend time with friends and just party. The problem here was I was still a one-man army. So when I was not working on my business, I was doing holidays, I had a lot of problems in the business. First problem was, it was after the Christmas time, so I had a lot of customer care to do. And because I didn't have a team, I had to do everything by myself. That was the reason I was not able to enjoy my holidays in Valencia. Although I had a really good apartment, and although there were pretty good parties, I didn't have time to enjoy these events. Because in the back of my mind, all the time there was a little voice telling me, Apo, you have to do your customer care. Apo, you have to launch new products because your revenue will go down if you're not doing anything. Apo, leave the awesome party and go do your work. And after I came back to Germany, I just realized I need a team. Like, I need somebody who's doing customer care jobs, and I will show somebody how to do it. I think the biggest mistake there was I thought I can do everything better. I thought nobody is doing the customer care as good as me. That is one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs will get less things like burnouts, and they don't have power anymore, and they don't have any time anymore, and they're not able to scale anymore because they are doing everything by themselves. Right now I have 80 employees in my print-on-demand companies here in Europe, and things got more easy. Because in the beginning, like in the first year of my print-on-demand business, I was doing everything by myself. I was a one-man army. I was working a lot. I was working like 60-70 hours per day because I had a lot to do. After I just hired a team, everything got more easier, and I had more time to focus on the most important points in the business, to scale the business, to deliver good products, to create good products and do advertising. So although it can be pretty expensive in the beginning if you're paying a customer care something like 10 or 15 euros per hour, on the long term you will win with this decision. And more important, if you're doing holidays once or twice per year, or even more, you can be pretty sure that your business is like not dying, so you will still have a business when you come back. So let's talk about the last point, and in my opinion is one of the most important points. You have to deal with setbacks. As an entrepreneur, you will have bad days, and some days you're not feeling it. But the question there is, what you're doing on these bad days. Look, the thing is that one of my biggest setback was when PayPal was holding my money back. Because, guys, I needed the money. It was 80,000 euros for me as a beginner in e-commerce. And I needed the money to pay my taxes, to pay my production, to pay advertising, and to pay my employees. And I knew it like it was yesterday. I woke up, I received this message, I was looking at my phone and I was like, God damn, what the hell I'm doing right now. And in the first hour, I was pretty sad. Everything went down. I was pretty sad and I was thinking about, okay, what I'm going to do. That is the day I am losing everything. Because when I didn't get the money back, I have a lot of problems. So in the first hour I was pretty sad, and it was the young apo. I was like 23 or something like that. But after just being sad for 1 hour, I come back from this negative mind and I was thinking about what is the solution. And as an entrepreneur, you need solutions. It's not worth thinking about the problem and what bad things can happen out of it. You need a solution. You need a solution for everything that is going on in your business. And after I was sad for 1 hour, I man up and I was thinking about a good solution. And the solution was pretty easy. I was writing PayPal a message, I was writing the production a message, I was writing the customers messages, I was replying to all of those messages. And in 3 or 4 days, something like that, the money was free again and I was able to pay everybody. But that was not my last problem I had in my business. It was pretty little compared to the problems I have right now. For example, in the last Christmas business, PayPal was holding my money back again. It was something like 300,000 euros or something like that. But it was not a problem for me because I was trained to solve problems and that was just another problem I solved. So the lesson here is, as an entrepreneur, you always have problems. But the most important point here is you have to be a problem solver. Day in, day out, every day of the year. A good benefit of that is if you're able to solve every problem in your business, like your private life will become pretty easy. Nothing in my private life is a big problem for me. It's pretty easy compared to the business I'm running. And that is a good benefit. You will, as an entrepreneur, you will grow as a person. It's like personal development on steroids. Because you're changing problems all the time, you have to solve employee problems, quality problems, customer problems. You're solving problems all the time. And that's your job, you're a problem solver. And that will harden you up. It will make you a better person. Look guys, the thing is that was my lessons I learned in the last 7 years. The thing is that you don't have to do them as well, because learn from my mistakes. I've made them already. Please learn from them and implement them in your business strategy and your daily business work. I've made these mistakes. Please don't make them as well. So, if you liked the video, do me a favor, please do me a huge favor and leave a comment on this video. Ask your question, I will answer every question in the comment section. Please subscribe to this channel, it helps a lot. And of course I will publish a lot of new stuff about e-commerce, print on demand, dropshipping in Europe. Stay tuned and I will see you in the next video, buddy.